Yep. So the title is not deceiving you. It's not bait. I genuinely think Hullbreaker is being slept on, which is crazy to think about, right? Because season 13, we were dealing with Hullbreaker, right? Hullbreaker on Yone, Hullbreaker Thunder, whatever. Also, excuse me about my voice. I actually have COVID right now, but I just had to get this video out. Um, but yeah, today we're gonna be talking about Hullbreaker, specifically on Yone. And so I actually realized this item is pretty good, right? And the key differences between this Hullbreaker and the previous one is sure it gives less stats when you're split pushing, but the item isn't reliant on you split pushing anymore. Like, yeah, majority of its power is still in the split pushing aspect, but it actually gives really good stats, right? 65 AD, 350 health, and 5% movement speed for 3,000 gold is pretty solid on your own, right? We like all of those stats on him. And what I realized is that skipper passive is actually really strong, right? It's it just pairs really well with Blade of the Rune King or Kraken, and you just get extra bonus damage, right? And this extra damage against towers as well is really oppressive on your own. And I'm gonna show you guys an example of what I mean and why I think this item is actually good, right? So again, just to reiterate, the main points are for Hullbreaker, right? The stats are actually decent on this item, right? The passive is actually decent as well, the skipper passive, and it's very easy to make use of that tower damage on you, right? So what I'm gonna do is I've got a VOD up, right? And me playing this exact build, right? I'm gonna skip through the early game, right? Because we're more focused about the Hullbreaker, and yeah, bunch of scrappy fights, right? Blah blah blah, and then boom. So 17 minutes in, I got Kraken, Hullbreaker. Obviously, I'm pretty fed here, right? But I just want to show you guys how strong this item is and actually how versatile this item is. I was 100% wrong about this item. So if we just take a look at this fight, I've got a decent amount of HP and movement speed, right? Just because I've got the Hullbreaker. And so if we notice, I'm actually quite strong here in this fight. Um, so I kind of go in here, I get Chain CC'd. Because I got the Hullbreaker HP, I'm able to keep fighting, or I'd be dead with that Hullbreaker there. And yeah, we keep fighting, and you can see when I get those huge chunks of damage, that's actually from the Hullbreaker passive. You actually notice um, here, right? These are the stacks of the Hullbreaker. After you reach 5, your next hit does a fuck ton more damage. And again, it's not tied to you split pushing. You can actually be grouped and have it, right? So I get a nice little fight here. Again, I'm surviving because of the movement speed and the extra HP. Sure, I could have had another defensive item and would have been similar, right? But my point being is this is the worst case scenario for Hullbreaker, right? Where you're 100% grouped, not able to hit any turrets. No one is you're grouped with your team, and it still looked decent, right? And now the main power though is once I get drop it to the side. So I want to show you guys. Look at how oppressive this is when you're against a champion that can't match you in the side, right? So if you're against a mage or an assassin that can't really match you or do damage to you, this is what you can do, right? So we cast our E. That siege minion's got a fuck ton of HP. And do you see that big chunk right there? That's from the Hullbreaker proc. You see that? 500 HP. Boom, instantly dead from on the turret and one auto, right? And because I'm in my E and I'm hitting the turret in my E, I'm completely safe here, right? And look at how hard Anivia is struggling to kill that cannon minute, right? So it just makes your pushing completely oppressive. And again, keep in mind that you're still strong in team fights with this item, right? I mean, I'm still quite strong. Again, it gives good stats, right? And then, yeah, we can take a look here. I push her out of lane because I chunk her out. And watch how fast this turret dies here. When you get that huge chunk, boom, another 450 damage from the Hullbreaker. Instantly melt that turret, right? And we take a look here at this one as well. I just walk forward, right? She's got to clear the wave. I just hit the turret. Look at that. Boom. 500 damage to the turret. She can't do anything, right? So what's going to happen in a game like this is that if she's stuck, forced to 1v1 me, I can just completely ignore her. She's screwed trying to hit the wave, and I can hit the turret. I'm going to get their whole base. So they have to send multiple people. But because I'm in my E, I'm completely defensive, guys. So that's what makes this item so freaking strong on Yone. You could just do that split push. You can just maintain that split push, right? And again, here's another example of against the Grays. Obviously, I'm pretty fed, but I've spent a lot of gold recently. I still do quite a bit of damage, right? Those huge hits are from the Hullbreaker as well here. Let me see if we got one there. I think he might have died before I even procced. Uh, that one was a Hullbreaker hit, but obviously, yeah, he's pretty weak. Um, yeah, that's my point. Like, it's just so oppressively strong, right? Look how fast I melt this turret as well. I was completely wrong about this item, guys. This item is freaking insane on Yone. I highly recommend you guys build it because it's very versatile. You can build it at any game. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, abuse this while you can.